Can you imagine what it would be like if freedom was declared, but no one told you? Picture this. You're still enslaved, and it's been 2.5 years since the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. This isn't some made-up story. This is the real, powerful truth behind Juneteenth. So, picture this. January 1, 1863. President Abraham Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation. A huge deal for ending slavery in the Confederate States, right? But way out in Texas, that news? Barely a whisper. It was deliberately kept quiet. For more than 250,000 enslaved African Americans there, freedom was still just a far-off dream, even while the Civil War was raging and eventually came to an end. It would take 2 more long, tough years before that promise of freedom finally became real for them. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation was historic, absolutely. But it wasn't some magic wand. For it to actually work, Union troops needed to be there to enforce it. And Texas? Well, it was geographically cut off, one of the last places holding onto the Confederacy, so there weren't many Union soldiers around for most of the war. In fact, some enslavers from other southern states actually moved to Texas with enslaved people, thinking that slavery, that peculiar institution, might just survive there. News traveled slow back then, and often, enslavers deliberately kept the news quiet. They wanted to squeeze out every last bit of forced labor. So even after Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered in April 1865, pretty much ending the war, slavery was still going strong in Texas. Then came June 19, 1865. Union Major General Gordon Granger rolled into Galveston, Texas. And he wasn't alone. He had Union troops with him, including U.S. colored troops, all ready to enforce what had been ordered years earlier. General Granger stood on the balcony of Ashton Villa and read out General Order No. 3. It was crystal clear. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. For those 250,000 enslaved people in Texas, this wasn't just news, it was everything. It was the freedom they'd prayed for, a freedom that had been so cruelly kept from them, finally arriving. You can only imagine the reaction, right? First shock, disbelief, then just overwhelming joy. People walked off those plantations, often with absolutely nowhere to go, but they were free, and they embraced it. They started looking for family members torn apart by slavery, a heartbreaking and really difficult journey. That day, June 19th, immediately became incredibly important. And believe it or not, the very next year, 1866, the first Juneteenth celebrations kicked off in Texas. They were often prayer meetings, get-togethers with spiritual songs. Putting on new clothes became a way to symbolize this brand new, free life. Those first celebrations were a real mix, remembering the terrible times of slavery, but also joyfully celebrating being free. It was a day for giving thanks, for thinking about how strong the human spirit really is. They called it Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, and then it became Juneteenth, basically squishing June and 19th together. And these early gatherings? They weren't just parties. They were bold statements, a way of saying, we are here, we are free, in a world that was still very much against black freedom. Just being able to get together in public, to celebrate their own history and culture, that itself was a freedom they had to fight for. As black families moved from Texas to other parts of the country, they took Juneteenth with them. And over the years, all sorts of wonderful customs grew out of it, creating the lively celebrations we see today. Food is huge. Think barbecues, big potlucks, it's all about bringing people together. And you'll often see a lot of red foods and drinks, red soda, red velvet cake, watermelon. That red color is really meaningful. It symbolizes the bloodshed and strength of their ancestors who were enslaved, and it also connects back to some West African traditions. Then there's the music and dancing. Everything from spirituals and gospel, like Lift Every Voice and Sing, to modern music, all celebrating freedom and remembering those who came before. You'll see parades, festivals, people acting out historical events, and even Miss Juneteenth pageants showing off black pride and culture. It took a long time for Juneteenth to get national recognition. Texas made it a state holiday way back in 1980. But it wasn't until June 17, 2021, that Juneteenth officially became a federal holiday here in the US, a really big moment recognizing how important this day is. These days, people often call Juneteenth America's second Independence Day. And it really is. It's not just about celebrating the end of slavery in Texas, but about recognizing the end of slavery as an institution across the whole country. It's a day to honor Black history, culture, strength, and all the amazing things Black people have achieved. But Juneteenth is more than just a party. It's also a day to really think about the fight for real racial and economic fairness that's still going on. It's a chance for people to get involved, to run voter registration drives, and to have those tough but necessary talks about civil rights and social justice. Even as more and more people celebrate it, the holiday makes us stop and think about how far we've come, and how much work we still have to do to take down those unfair systems. So, this Juneteenth, how about doing a little more than just saying, Happy Juneteenth? See if there are any local events happening in your area. Support Black-owned businesses. Really take some time to learn more about African American history, the hard times, the victories, and the journey that continues. Share this story, this incredible story of freedom that was delayed, and help make sure everyone understands and honors this crucial piece of American history. Juneteenth really shows us that freedom doesn't always arrive right on time, and that we always have to keep fighting for it and protecting it. It's a story about hope that was put on hold, but finally came true because of incredible strength and a spirit that wouldn't quit. It's a celebration of being free, a nod to how strong communities can be, and a serious promise to keep working for a future where everyone, truly everyone, is equal. Celebrate freedom. Celebrate Juneteenth. You are invited to subscribe to Camaraderie Health Agency YouTube channel or go to www.camaraderiehealthagency.com or call 224-433-5754.